ever. In his country, Slovenia's first appearance as well, he put on a clinic. 48 points, tied for the second highest total in men's basketball history in the games, to lead Slovenia to a 118-100 victory over Argentina. He put up 31 in the first half alone. Argentina's head coach, Sergio Hernandez, has seen enough to declare this. Quote, "For me, I said this 2 years ago. He's the best player in the world, including the NBA. And if there was any doubt in my mind, there is no doubt anymore. He is the best player in the world." All right. Speaking of incredible international players, Freddie, I'll start with you on this one. Would you rather build a team around Luka or Giannis?
I'm going to build around Giannis, and that's no disrespect to Luka Doncic, who I believe is only going to get better. But you can say the same thing about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and not just because he won an NBA championship, but look how he was able to do it. Not just building up his team and having Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez, also Bobby Portis Jr. stepping up their games. But look what he's able to do in the finals. Just seemed like each and every game, whatever you took away from him, he had an answer for the problem when it comes to the Phoenix Suns. When you're making free throws like he did in Game 6 and making one three-point shot, people are losing their minds. I just look at a guy like Giannis, and it's not to say that guys don't want to play with Luka, but because he's less temperamental than Luka. Luka has a lot of diva inside of him, and he's already run off one coach in Dallas. You have to wonder how much of an effect that's going to have on the Dallas Mavericks going forward. You look at Giannis, he's not running off anybody. Guys are saying, you know what, playing in Milwaukee may not be a bad idea if that guy is going to be there. That kind of organizational structure is going to be there based on Giannis. So as great as Luka is, I'd rather build a team around Giannis because you don't have to worry about your superstar having that kind of diva-tude that Luka has that could really separate a team, and that's something to be afraid of.
Hey, Freddie, if Luka's a diva, I want diva, right? Luka, he has pizzazz. He has flash. And trust me, I'm a huge Giannis fan. We all saw what Giannis did. But Luke, and they were both first team All-NBA the last 2 years. So really, it's either or. But Luke just has this flash to him, this pizzazz. He put up 48 just yesterday. This dude just has a special kind of player where you bring everybody around the world to come and watch Luka play. Not to say you're not going to win championships with Giannis. I know you will. But Luka just has that fan factor as well. If I'm building a team, yes, I want to win championships, but I also want to sell tickets. And I think Luka's going to sell more tickets than Giannis just because the flash and the fun that he has while he's playing the game.
See, I disagree with that because Giannis has flash as well. And also, by the way, at least Giannis has won a playoff series. Luka hasn't done that yet. And Giannis was able to take the Milwaukee Bucks from really the ground up and build them into what turned out to be a championship basketball team. But to say that Giannis doesn't have any flash, did you not see the plays he made in the NBA Finals at both ends of the floor? Ask DeAndre Ayton about the flash of Giannis Antetokounmpo when he got stuffed on a dunk attempt in Game 3 that completely changed the series for the Milwaukee Bucks. Ask DeAndre Ayton of the Phoenix Suns how he got his soul taken away from him by Giannis Antetokounmpo, especially in Game 6. There's plenty of flash around when it comes to Giannis, and not for nothing. Giannis after winning a championship, you go to Chick-fil-A and ask for a 50-piece, not 49, not 51, but a 50-piece, and the lady says, sure, no problem. That's pretty good flash for me from Giannis Antetokounmpo. His flash game may not be as noteworthy so far as Luka, but to say he doesn't have any flash, he has a lot more flash than I think anybody wants to give him credit for, especially going to make that comparison between Giannis on one side and Luka Doncic on the other side.
Luka's 22. Luka's 22. And I understand Giannis is young as well, right? 26, 27. Luka's 22. So to say he hasn't led his team yet, he's only had 2 years, right? Give this man some time, and he's already putting up amazing numbers. And so Giannis is phenomenal, right? Like, trust me, I'm Nigerian, right? So I respect and love Giannis more than probably anybody else out here. But Luka, when I'm building a team, I just like what he does on the court, off the court, in the community, and I know Giannis does it as well. Like I said, you can pick either one and you're going to win either way. But when if I'm trying to sell tickets, I'm as well, because I think about building a team, selling tickets, running a team, I'm picking Luka.
I hear you on that one, but remember this, with Luka, here's the one thing I'm concerned about when it comes to what you say about the flash and having the game and having the personality. There's no doubt about that. But those technical fouls, at a certain point, you can go from being a guy that people like to saying, okay, Luka, why are you complaining all the time? Why it seems like you're trying to get underneath people's skin? And I think he's going to learn that with maturity. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But at 22 years of age, he still has a long way to go to grow up. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Freddie.
But I look at a guy like Giannis. building around him where he can do so many different things, a Swiss Army knife, I'll take that guy right now over Luka Doncic despite the age.
All right, Freddie, sorry to jump you there, but I have a question for you, and I need a yes or no answer because we have to go. Would you still feel this way if Giannis didn't win the chip this year? Because I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but there was a lot of major injuries and a lot of big superstars that he didn't have to deal with, Lakers, Nets, etc. I can go on and on. So if he had not won the chip, would you still be going with him over Luka?
Yeah, I still would be going with him over Luka because for this reason. When he was out in Game 5 and Game 6, his team had his back. When he was injured against the Atlanta Hawks in the Game 5 and Game 6 Eastern Conference Finals, they say, hey, we got you, boss. We're going to take care of things. You are a great player and a great person when your team does not just take a step back when you're not going to be there. The fact they were able to raise their game and get them to the NBA Finals, and then he said, I got you guys. I got one leg out here. I'm going to be peg leg baits, but I'm going to lead the way. I still feel the same way if they had not won a championship because guys are gravitating towards a Giannis. And guys will gravitate towards Luka. But right now, even if they did not win a championship, guys wanted to play with Luka. Drew Holiday wanted to be traded to Milwaukee because he wanted to play with Giannis because he was not going to pass up on that opportunity.
Yeah, Freddie, you make a good point. You're talking about leadership, right? Level 4 and level 5 leadership, right? Level 4 leadership is when you lead your team and you're the dominant player, but then you leave and everybody falls off. You're talking about this new level of leadership, level 5 leadership, where even when you're gone, you've done so much to affect your team that everyone else around you plays better. And we saw that with Giannis. But I'm still picking Luka. I don't think he's a diva. I don't think he's a distraction. I think he's got that kind of that Steph Curry kind of flash, the fun, where people from all around the world will come to watch him play.
Yeah, he's not a distraction. Luka's not a distraction, but that diva thing, look out for that. Keep an eye on that.
All right, let me work on my level 5 leadership.
For the alley-oop, 15 seconds left. It'll be a one-possession game, and you have the ball. And Devin Booker, between you and Devin Booker, and you keep talking about Cam Johnson, Stephen A., and Mikal Bridges, and you have a good chance to tie that game and send it into overtime at home. A good chance to still win the game, actually. And then you fouled a dangerous foul. Under other circumstances, it would be considered a cheap shot because he was up in the air. We know that's not what the intention was here. But a dangerous foul. And one of the dumbest things, so now they're up a possession, they're up 3 points, and they have the ball at the free throw line with 15 seconds left. You ended the game right there, basically. I don't want to see one of the greatest players that I've ever seen. You talk about diminutive guys, right? Certainly at the size, in Chris Paul go out like that. And I do think that the Suns are motivated, that the last 2 games, one in Phoenix, one in Milwaukee, came down to the wire and required all-time great plays out of the Bucks in order to preserve those wins. I see this series going 7. I always did. And that means the Suns now have to return the favor, get one on the road. And I'm predicting, Stephen A., whatever Chris Paul has seemed like to us so far, much like Game 6 of the conference finals. Let's not forget, he didn't look good until then. The team was performing worse with him than campaign at that point. He had one of the all-time great games to put him in the finals. I'm predicting the same thing for a Game 6 to put him into a Game 7.
I think it's over. I think Milwaukee closes out the deal tonight and wins in 6. I would tell you that I hope that I'm wrong because my heart is definitely with Phoenix and CP3 because I really, really would love to see them force a Game 7. And I love Game 7s, so that plays a lot in it. But where I veer left from you is that as bad as that foul was by CP3 on Giannis on the alley-oop dunk, to hold CP3 accountable to the degree that you're doing so. I'm not there with you. Clearly, it was not the wisest thing to do, and I'm certainly not saying that it is. But in the throes of action, you're thinking that somehow, some way, if you can foul him and force him to miss the dunk, then he has to go through the free throw line where he's shooting 59% from the free throw line this series. 39 of 66 from free throws. He's missed 27 of his 66 free throw attempts in this series. So he's hitting less than 60% of his free throws. Again, didn't seem that smart in the aftermath because you're looking at Greek Freak. He's 6'11". He's a specialist in terms of dunking the basketball. He's a high riser. He's a skywalker. And fouling him put him And it just didn't seem like the smart thing to do. But listening to CP3 post game, he said, "Yeah, I thought he would miss the free throws. Hell, he probably thought he would miss the free throws, et cetera, et cetera." So you're thinking that you were going to foul him before the dunk was actually made. It didn't turn out to be the wisest play in the world, but that was the thinking process, and I think basketball minds can understand that. In the end, though, here's what it comes down to: Milwaukee's bigger, they're stronger, they're deeper. And because of those three components, combined with the fact that Phoenix has its injuries to deal with, Saric, you're very thin on your front line. You've got DeAndre Ayton. He's all by his lonesome on the front court. All he's got as help is Jay Crowder.